Day. And Devin, I know that you were particularly excited to bring the Snowbound Shasta daisies. Why do you love them so much?
Well, first of all, these are probably the most reliable and dependable plants that we offer all season long. But I love the white because, Sandra, have you ever taken a look at someone that has a really bright white teeth, their smile?
Well,
How it just kind of makes their face brighten up.
Listen, that's what I talk about in the beauty shows when we present Smile Actives all the time.
Exactly. This is the same thing for your garden. Most people forget to add white to their garden, but you need white. If you want your whole garden to pop, the colors to really show up, you need white.
So if you want your pinks to look pinker, your purples to look purple, your blues and violets to look more bright and beautiful, pair them with white. That makes so much sense.
Exactly.
Plus, I gotta tell you, when it starts to get a little dark, like around sundown, I love the look of the white.
They kind of just have this nice
like
luminescence.
Glow, right? Like a white flower in the garden. So there are other white flowers. Why do you always recommend the Shasta daisy?
Well, these Shasta daisies, these are called the Snowbound series Shasta daisies. Now, Shasta daisies, people love them, but oftentimes they would grow really tall, maybe 3-4 feet tall.
And they get a little leggy, right?
They get really leggy. But the worst thing about those Shasta daisies is that midsummer, come July, they shrivel at the first sign of heat. These Snowbound Shasta daisies have been bred to withstand the heat, the humidity, and the drought unlike any other Shasta daisy. And these will bloom starting in May, and they'll bloom all the way to October.
I'm looking at these, and
Twice
they are
the bloom season.
Blooming like crazy.
You see that?
I'm looking at all these little buds here.
Yeah.
They look like they are going to go nonstop. Look at
They
all
really
of
do. They don't stop blooming from May all the way to October. I love them. If you just if you stand over your plants sometime, you won't even be able to see the ground or even the green foliage beneath them because they're so covered with flowers.
Wow.
And these Shasta daisies are nice and compact. They grow about 14 to 16 inches tall, which is a nice size for the front of your garden border. But what they do really well is they spread. Each one of your 4 plants will spread about 2 to 2.5 feet wide.
Wow.
So you can really cover some great space with 1 collection or 2 collections or 3 collections. Each one will cover about a 10-foot border.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Right?
And you're going to get 4 of them. You can take a look at how they look in the field. How beautiful.
I love them. These growing about 14 to 16 inches tall, you're going to put them at the front of your garden border, along your walkways. Put this right behind your succulent ground covers to make a beautiful, professional, layered garden look. And these are going to be blooming when your other Shasta daisies have shriveled from the hot summer heat. These will still be performing, blooming all the way to the first frost in October, maybe even November, depending on where you live.
They're so beautiful. Hey, I just heard in my ear that our lemon lime tree is already popular. You might want to skip ahead and get that now. But the Shasta daisy.
Look at just how covered with flowers those are.
Do you know what's nice about the Shasta daisy too? Like some flowers look best depending on, like if you're going for the English cottage look, or maybe you have a very contemporary home and you're trying to pick flowers that sort of go with the look of your home. I feel like Shasta daisies in this beautiful Snowbound are kind of like the chameleon, right? They can look very kind of English garden, a little bit kind of cottagey.
Yeah, every garden
they look great.
can use
You could
them.
put these outside of a log cabin. You could put these outside of a big modern modular home, and they still look amazing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Place these against, maybe you have some rocky areas, a rock garden. They look fantastic. If you have a traditional garden bed, they look fantastic. In containers, if you have a small urban garden, a patio garden, this is a plant that you want to have in your patio garden because not only are they going to bloom for 5 to 6 months every single year, they're also beautiful attractors for your butterflies and your bees
and your hummingbirds. So you're holding how they're going to come, right?
Yeah, I just took this out of the pot just to show you guys. Look at these roots.
Are healthy.
You think so, huh?
Yeah,
so this plant, you plant it right in the ground. You can plant it in a pot, and it's going to grow about 14 to 16 inches tall and about 2 to 2.5 feet wide. So in this planter, this is maybe 1 or 2 plants in each one of these containers right here. That's what we love about them. They don't grow so tall, but they grow wide and they cover a lot of space.
I'm just looking at how many flowers are on the plants
They're
in
so
front of me.
covered. They're
and then
so
take
covered
a
with
look here.
flowers.
You can really see what they're going to look like when you get them in your yard.
These are going to be some of the earliest bloomers in your garden,
So,
blooming
like, how
around
early?
May.
Oh, okay,
Blooming
nice.
around May, and they're going to be one of the latest bloomers, blooming till around October. So you get the whole, while everything else is kind of cycling in and out of flowering,
Yeah.
these are going to be looking beautiful the entire time. And it's really important to have this white in your garden because it helps all. Look at that. You see it was behind or in front of the crocosmia. It helps everything to show up that much better. Your deep reds, maybe you have a winter hardy hibiscus or
Well, look how they look with the bee balm,
yeah.
which you can find the bee balm on QVC.com. If we have any left, we presented it last hour. It was very, very popular. But if you want the bee balm, don't wait. But here, look at the Shasta daisies.
They're so beautiful. They're easy, low maintenance plants. They can handle any conditions that you give to them.
They just make me happy. And I do feel like no matter, he's so right, like whatever you're putting in the garden,
you need
pop
white.
a little white in there.
It
Really makes everything else
Look at that. Look at that contrast. It's so gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. So Devin, explain the idea of the zones and when
I
you
would
ship
love
them.
to. Yeah, we want to take all the guesswork out of it.